I talked about it on my gaming stream, and I'll tell you that I've never seen a battle or a war filmed like that. It
Nope.
wasn't, or paced like that. It
Yes.
wasn't the. I thought it was going to be this bloody massacre, and it really wasn't. But what it was massively entertaining. How they went from, you know,
Like six
anxiety.
different. They went from like six different stories.
Right. Well, they had all these different things going on that they could cut to, but on top of that, I felt this dread and anxiety
Yep.
multiple times that was horrific, actually, and I was glad when it was over. But to make me feel like that is pretty fucking
Well,
impressive. And they went from exciting battles to all of a sudden methodical little chases and moments that were in. It was
yeah.
so well done.
Like when they went to, well, I'll start with this. Like I'm like you, we both have like real bad anxiety issues, but like I got that real weird anxiety. The first like 15, 20 minutes of the episode is leading up to the battle, but everybody's kind of nervous and quiet. And I was actually watching the show with headphones in, so like the sound was really, really good. The soundtrack to the buildup, you're hearing like these small little bass drops and like really like real low tone like bass hits and stuff.
Surround sound on. I heard all that. I had the surround sound on.
Dude, that was making me get anxious because you knew what was coming. And even and like you said, they balanced it really well, man. When they went to Arya in the library inside of Winterfell and she was like, hiding from the whites and shit, trying to get to a group of people because they were surrounding her. I mean, between that, being in the crypt with Tyrion and Sansa, who had their moment last night, that was pretty cool. I mean, I actually thought Tyrion was going to die for a smidgen of a second, but then I was like, there's just no way, But, and then obviously, the dragon battle, I was not expecting it to look that flawless.
Yeah, that part looked great. Like all of it came off the right way. Like and to bring it back to the music to close out on that, when at the end they played a song that I said this out loud to Leah before anything finished. When the Night King was approaching Braun or whatever, right before that they played some kind of score there that was music that you play when a miracle happens.
Yeah.
Like and if you listen to it, it's very upbeat, but it seemed like it was out of place.
Yeah.
Because at the time, everything bad was going on, and they were playing this music that was like the type of music that would be playing if like a miracle was happening. And I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I said that to Leah. I'm like, okay, so they're either trolling us with this right now for no reason, or this is a foreshadow. And I said, this is a foreshadow. Someone's about to kill the fucking Night King, or if not, they just they used the wrong music. And right as that song ended, is when Arya shows up and dives at the king. So it was like, wow, they played that music to show that subliminally or almost to what I'm trying to say, the fucking word, I can't think of it, to foreshadow what was about to happen. Because that's uplifting, like miracle music. I can't even explain it.
Well, yeah, what it was, I know exactly what you're talking about because you're right. It was out of place. Like, I actually, for a moment, I remember I was texting Keish. We were watching it. I was at work. She was at home. And I was texting her. I was all like, I think I'm going to end up being right. Because at one point, because I had said, I think everybody at Winterfell's just going to die. That's how I felt. And I was like, Keish, I really think everybody's about to die. Because you mentioned the score that they were playing when Bran was sitting in the chair. The Night King was pacing dude. It looked like a god, like Goodfellas, for God's sake. The way the Night King was walking with the two White Walkers behind him, it looked like Henry and Tommy and whoever De Niro's character's name is. Like when they're walking into the bars, like it looked like a mafia boss walking in. And as they're walking up, I'm like, Keish, like everyone's about to die. Like that's how it felt. And then, because, Jon stepped in front of the Frost Drake, and Daenerys was stranded in the field with the dead. The crypt was filled with the dead. And then we didn't know where Arya was, though. You knew she kind of took off. And like you said, by the way, major spoiler coming in 3, 2, 1. Arya killing the Night King, I don't know that I've been that happy in a while as far as cinema.
Here's why it's so well done. Because first of all, and by the way, that music was so happy that I was like, oh my God, someone's going to save them because this music is just the right thing for that. I don't get it. But if you go back and see it. But Arya, dude, first of all, she leaps on him, and I'm like, holy shit. And I was like, no, and I thought she's going to die.
Yeah, I thought she got stabbed. I missed it.
So, like, they made you think she died twice in that episode.
Yeah.
And then I thought she was dead there. and then she dropped the knife, and it was like another mark out moment. So it was lots of mark out moments for me.
Well, I had a weird moment where I was watching the episode, and I had looked away just for a second. I was grabbing a piece of paper because I was doing paperwork, and I missed it that it was Leanna who got caught by the giant and where he squeezed her to death, you know? I thought that was Arya because I looked away for a split second. And the episode was filmed so dark, it was almost hard to see shit in a way because it was so dark. And I thought Arya was dying, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. So I went back like 20 seconds, you know. But seeing the way she killed the Night King, and by the way, this is going to sound really gay, but like shit like what happened last night on Game of Thrones gives me hope for like cinema. Like things can still be done to make me feel the way I did last night.
Well, let me explain something else to everybody too, not to dive back into the Troy and Leah and everything fight. And but not talking about them, not talking about them so much as like the world and SJWs. This is the example of how people don't give a fuck, like if women or men are involved in anything, as long as you don't push some weird agenda beforehand.
Oh yeah,
unbelievable agenda during the movie.
Right,
a little girl stabs a giant in the fucking eye, and I loved it and believed it.
Yes,
and was into it. And
it was not force fed women's empowerment.
Right. Arya kills them like one of the biggest villains in the show nastily, like it was awesome. Nobody says fucking, oh, they're trying to, of course the women all killed some crazy, and what are the guys are all cowering and whatever else. No, nobody ever thought that, because Arya is just a badass who has an amazing story arc. And the other girl, while she didn't have much of a story arc, was, I mean, dude, she was done better than Rey and any of these other women in these other movies.
Yeah, you're right.
Women were awesome.
You're talking about Lyanna, right?
Yeah, Lyanna.
Yeah,
I would buy a Lyanna shirt or something like after that.
I mean, she was such a small role, and then she obviously got a bigger role. But it's like, think of it like this, dude. Think of it as like a 3-for-3 almost, right? Lyanna kills the giant, the undead giant. Arya kills the biggest villain of 9 years of this show.
And Melisandre or whatever. She did stuff too.
Well, I mean, she basically, well, yeah, she did. I get what you're saying. Like she lit the trench. She saved them. Right? And Daenerys saved Jon from dying when she like destroyed the dead. He was about to die.
Yeah. And well, she was also retarded too by taking the dragon so low, but
then Arya kills arguably the biggest villain in a TV show that I've seen in a long, long time. And not one time last night did I say, oh my God, all the women, of course, are saving all the men. I never thought that, dude. And especially, what's his name? Jorah, he literally saved the queen. The guy did.
Yeah.
She would have died had it not been for Jorah. So it's like, it was very balanced in a way. And I wasn't upset that Jon Snow didn't save the fucking day, because how many times has he done it already? We get it. Jon Snow can save the day anytime. We didn't need him to save the day. He won the Battle of the Bastards, you know? We don't need to see Jon save the fucking day again. So I thought the episode last night, I know it's major spoilers, people. R.I.P. to, help me out, Joe, it was Lyanna, Jorah, Ed, right? The guy from the wall.
Yep. The guy from the wall, the black hair.
He died really early too.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
He died before the trench was even lit. I feel like I'm missing
one person.
A lot of people
wondered about the direwolf's alive. A lot of people were still wondering about that. Direwolf.
Are you talking about Ghost?
Ghost is alive.
Yeah. Wasn't there one more person that died, like a big death? I can't remember who it was. Well, it was Lyanna, Jorah, Ed, and Alessandra, yeah. Or Melisandre, however you say her name. She died too. Because at the very end of the episode, she took her necklace off, and then she turned into that old bag of shit that she turns into when she doesn't have that necklace on. But,
said she'd die by morning. I don't know why she said that, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I just know this. The episode was an hour and a half long. And not one time did I feel like it was dragging. I mean, dude, I was so anxious throughout this whole episode. Let's see what people are saying in the chat.
Dude, I thought something was wrong. I was like, wow, this is still on. I feel like this was supposed to end already, and it's still going.
It was literally the length of like a comedy movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like most comedy movies
like
are
a kids movie, like a kids movie.
Yeah, it's like a small, almost like a Disney movie, because Disney movies try to avoid being longer than an hour and like 40 minutes. And last night, this was about that long. But obviously for kids, it's the short attention span. But last night, this went, and I guess next week is supposed to be really long too, because we're going to be building up to the battle in King's Landing.
This was 82 minutes, and I think next week is like 78 minutes.
Yeah.
And then there's an 80-minute one, and then there's a 65-minute one or something. It's something like that.
Let's see what people are saying in the chat here. Minnesota Vikings fan, he brings a little levity to the conversation. He says, salty ballsack.
Wait till Minnesota hears the Patreon in a little while, because it's episode 13 of JB and Cronin.